Hey Ed, this is Stoic, I guess, so I'm going to read your poem to you. The ceiling's corner is the sun, a faded gold of thought, where plaster rainbows melt into the night. Like a meteor shower around a lamp, coughing sparks on the floor, where cords of flame run to find an outlet. As the walls drop dead, the fire's voice is cracking wood, screaming into the ceiling that comes crashing down, exposing memories as frayed wires of stars that peel themselves apart down to their every last experience, that captures dreams in their fragments, falling back to the screen just to mock every mistake that has been put on display. The news tortures a boy, reminding him that his guilt is a black hole, stretching his mind past its limits, then crushing it without the peace of dreams. Okay, interesting. Okay, so, let's see. When I read it, I found out something different, so, let me see. Okay, what you're talking about is a TV set. Ooh, I know, basic metaphor, right? Okay, and it looks like you're having a couple of things written down. You have the idea, lamp, coughing sparks. At first I thought it was literal, right? And I thought that the lamp was actually that'd be a bad idea. The lamp, which is, you can see my crappy lamp there. Yay, lamp. Okay, so you see my lamp there. And yeah, my room's kind of messy right now. I have to clean it. Anyway, you see the lamp, and I thought it was actually popping out sparks and everything, because it was kind of, violent imagery there. It looked like the lamp was coughing up sparks, and that there was fire, and that the roof was tumbling down, and oh my gosh, all this chaotic stuff. But that doesn't seem what's going on when I read it again, because it looks like this is a TV set, and you're talking about, by a lamp coughing sparks, you're talking about images flashing on the screen really quickly. And the cords of flame would be those wires and all the twisty wires and stuff that come from the TV set. And they are trying to find an outlet so that they can plug into the wall and have electricity so that the TV set can continue to get out sparks. Anyway, the walls drop dead. Okay, so this sounds like... And then what is going on then, if you look at it that way instead of the literal way where the whole house is falling apart, is the TV set is what's making the whole house fall apart. Which is an interesting image, because the house is generally where, you have family and you have relationships, and that's the very first place that you find these relationships, and that's where your home is. So when you have the house being destroyed, then this symbolizes not only the destruction of the house, but also destruction of all the relationships that you've built up within this house, all the comforts that are in this house, all the love that is in this house, and all this gets on fire. So we're like, okay, what is going on here, right? This is pretty serious, man. So, and then you have, okay, the ceiling's corner is the sun. Oh, yeah, that's the part that kind of confused me, because the first stanza, I was looking at that like, okay, you're talking about sun, and then it looks like you dissolve into night, but there's no real dissolve in there, which is kind of strange for me, because you have the sun right there, right? Sun, woo! And then the sun usually sets, and there's no setting there, so it's kind of weird, because, you have the corner of the room, I'm pointing into a corner of the room, you can't see me, the room, the corner, and I don't understand how that's supposed to be a sun, But because then you describe night. I think it might be better just to get rid of that image, because unless you want to have some sort of settingness, and because the sun needs rainbows, and rainbows melt in the night. I think that's what you're trying to make it set. But rainbows are generally not used to describe settingness. You can describe a cacophony of color, maybe. That's a better description of a sunset, right? Because sunsets are just everywhere, and rainbows vary form, and rainbows have different theological meaning. I was reading theology before this, and rainbows are a covenant of God's promise, or at least that's in Christian religion. So it means something different. So I was just looking at that, like, how does this go into the night? Because rainbows are not in the sunset. They just aren't. So you might want to look over that and see if you can change it. I think it's not necessary. Well, I don't want to say that because then it might ruin your creativity or whatever. But I think rainbows is not really a good description. I'm not quite sure what you're trying to do with the ceiling's corner as the sun. I'm not sure where this gold thought is coming from, because you don't really describe that there's a being in here. Maybe, I'm not quite sure if you're talking about the house is a being of something, or, because thought is usually associated with consciousness, right? So what is conscious here? And you see the sun, is that conscious? Is the room conscious? Is the ceiling conscious? Is there somebody in this room? And who is that person? So that a faded gold of thought doesn't quite mean anything right now. So either you have to put a subject there, and it doesn't have to be completely known, but it should be known, that doesn't make sense. You should make sure that it is it shouldn't be completely ambiguous as it is, because that doesn't give any power. It just confuses the reader. We're not sure what you're talking about. So, okay, like a meteor shower, then you have this description of night coming in, and where but night is absence, it has a weird absence of darkness, which is kind of strange, because you're like, night is dark, right? You have night and you have darkness. Okay, so then you have the lamp company of sparks, which is what the TV said, right? Chords of Flame. I don't quite like Chords of Flame. I mean, I kind of like it, I kind of don't. And that's mostly because I'm a math geek and a physics geek, and I know about electricity. So, yeah, it doesn't really seem to sum it up that much. I think that you might have a better use of it using, instead of flame, something else. But I'm not sure what. So, yeah, that's something. As the walls drop dead. And so then you have the whole house crashing down sort of thing, which I like, because it's like, but then you're wondering, and then the thing that I was wondering is, okay, so you have this house crashing down, and a house is like, it symbolizes a lot of things. It's really awesome. So then you're like, okay, what is this going to mean, right? So that's you leading to the poem, and that's pretty cool. And it says, exposing memories as frayed wires. And my tablet has a frayed wire. You can see it kind of there. Oops. There. See, it's fraying. Not good. I'm gonna have to buy another one soon. Which is not gonna be fun because they're expensive. But, whatever. Exposing memories as frayed wires. When wires are frayed, you have to destroy them because they can cause electricity and voltage and fire everywhere. It could electrocute you, so that's not a good thing. So if it electrocutes you, you're dead. Which means exposing memories as frayed wire. These memories can kill you. And these memories are of stars that peel themselves apart. Now, when I read this, I wasn't sure what you mean. I'm still not quite sure because, stars, when I think of peeling, I think of things like this. So when I peel something, I just rip into it. And I'm thinking, how does peeling have to do with stars? And the quick answer is it doesn't. So I was reading this, like, you missed out on this is not a good verb. It's an interesting verb because the thought that, like, stars can peel themselves, it's pretty interesting. But it doesn't make sense. So you might want to think of a better verb to use in that case. It's an interesting word. It doesn't work there, though. Down to every last experience. Experience is spelled wrong. It should have an E in it, and there's no A in experience. So make sure that you do a quick spell check here. You also had another typo. So by the way, stars and every, I'm not quite sure if you're meaning with stars. Why are you using stars? I mean, it's a legitimate question. I'm not quite sure your symbolism here, because I know stars are fiery balls of fire. No, they're not fire. You know, the sun is a mass of incandescent gas, right? But you can't peel them, and you can't peel them down to every last experience. So I'm not quite sure what you mean here. And I might be looking at it too literally, but I think that, I don't know, I like kind of a naturalistic way of approaching poetry. So I like it when you can actually use real things and be able to expand from that. That really gives me a kick. Okay, that captures dreams and their fragments, their orange peel. Yeah, I'm hungry. The orange look really good right now. Okay, falling back to the screen just to mock every mistake that has been put onto display. So you're talking about capturing dreams and fragments. But what is interesting to me that you didn't actually talk about really was these dreams seem to be nightmares. I mean, you could say, oh, dreams and the stars and right? People think about dreaming in a positive way generally, but this is definitely in a negative way. You don't want to have these kinds of dreams because they're mocking every mistake that has been put on to display, and you're looking at this and thinking, oh, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I mean, I haven't even been really bad in my life, but I've made tons of mistakes. So, and the fact that there's a screen that you can show every single mistake, that's just creepy. So I think you might want to expand on that a little bit and have more of a nightmarish feeling to this. It's already pretty nightmarish, but you could really do a lot with this. So, I would like to see you do that. Okay, the news tortures a boy, reminding him that his guilt is a black hole, stretching his mind past its limits and crushing it. I didn't like this stanza at all. I thought it was stupid. And, yeah, I'm being really blunt here, right? No, I didn't like it because it tortures the boy. How does it torture the boy? We don't know. So, we could... we don't know. So, it reminds him that his guilt is a black hole? How is it a black hole? Explain to me this, because I've looked at the theories of black holes and everything, and yeah, it doesn't quite make sense. And stretching his mind, how is that a bad thing? Because if his mind's past his limits, then you could argue that maybe like with Plato's cave and stuff, that's a good thing. And in fact, there's been a lot of religions just based on bringing your mind to another state of reality, and then that ends up being what saves you. And this goes with a lot of different religions, not just Christianity, though that's one of them. And then you crush it, and it's like, okay, how does this crush it, right? I mean, you're kind of describing a black hole because, you have the spaghettification, right? And then and it ends up like totally destroying it in the black hole. And then without the piece of dreams, it's dead, right? But you have some interesting ideas here, but I would like to see more of a dramatization about some of the things, like the news. How is the news torturing the boy, and how is notifying this guy of his guilt a bad thing? Because there can be a lot of people who can say, no, that is justice. So what is unjust about it? What are you going to do about it? You haven't actually made your statement, really. So I would like to see more of that. And yeah, this is a kind of long critique, so good luck, and I hope this has been helpful, and take what you will from it. Alright, see you later, Ed. Okay, wait, I can't close it.